Shalom, continuing in the book of Psalms chapter 24, verses 3 to 6, which reads, Who shall ascend into the hill of the Lord, or who shall stand in his holy place? For he that has clean hands and a pure heart, who hath not lifted up his soul unto vanity, nor swore deceitfully. 5. He shall receive the blessing from the Lord, and righteousness from the God of his salvation. 6. This is the generation of them that seek him, that seek thy face, O Jacob. So, answering these questions, we're going to define who shall ascend into the holy hill of the Lord. So that is a pure heart. One with a pure heart, which is sincere and without guile, in covenant with God, which is certainly carefully guarded, that the wicked one touch it not. It is purified by faith and confounded to the image of the will of God. Matthew 5:8 reminds us that blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. Thirdly, they are such as do not set their affection upon things of this world. They do not lift up their eyes, their souls to vanity, whose hearts are not carried out in ordinarity towards the wealth of this world, the praise of men, or the delights of sense, who do not choose these things for their portion, nor reach forth after them, because they believe them to be vanity, uncertain, and unsatisfying. Fourthly, they are such as deal honestly with both God and man. In their covenant with God and their contracts with men, they have not sworn deceitfully, nor broken their promises, violated their engagements, nor taken any false oath. Those that have no regard to the obligations or truth or the honor of God's name are unfit for a place in God's holy hill. Fifthly, they are a praying people. Psalms 24:6 says, This is the generation of them that seek him, that seek thy face, O Jacob, Shelah. In every age, there is a remnant of such as these, men of this character, who are accounted to the Lord for a generation. Psalms 22:30 says, A seed shall serve him. It shall be accounted to the Lord for a generation. So let's look at how. First, they join themselves to God to seek him, not only in earnest prayer, but in serious endeavors to obtain his favor and to keep themselves in his love, having made it the summit of their happiness. They make it the summit of their ambition to be accepted of him, and therefore take care and pains to approve themselves to him. It is to the hill of the Lord that we must ascend, and the way being uphill, we have need to put forth ourselves to the utmost as those that seek diligently. Secondly, they join themselves to the people of God to see God with them, being brought into communion with God. They come into communion with saints, conforming to the patterns of the saints that have gone before. So some understand this. They see God's face as Jacob. So some who was therefore surnamed Israel, because he wrestled with God and prevailed, sought him and found him an associate with the saints of their own day. They shall court the favor of God's church. Revelation 3:9 says, it said it this way: Behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan, which say they are Jews and are not, but do lie. Behold, I will make them to come and worship before thy feet, and to know that I have loved thee. Shall be glad of an acquaintance with God's people. Zechariah 8:23 says, Thus said the Lord of hosts, in those days it shall come to pass that 10 men shall take hold out of all tongues of the nations, even shall take hold of the start of him that is a Jew, saying, We will go with thee, for we have heard that God is with you. They shall incorporate themselves with them, and when they subscribe with their hands to the Lord, shall call themselves by the name of Jacob. Also Isaiah 44:5 says, One shall say, I am the Lord's, and another shall come call himself by the name of Jacob, and another shall subscribe with his hand unto the Lord, and surname himself by the name of Israel. So as soon as Paul was converted, he joined himself to the disciples. Acts 9:26 says, And when Saul was come to Jerusalem, he essayed to join himself to the disciples, but they were all afraid of him, and believed not that he was a disciple. And we know the reason for that, because Saul back then thought he was doing God's work by killing believers. So when he did join on the Lord's side, they had to make sure before they accepted him, because they was afraid of, who he represented. Was he coming to continue the work he was doing before, or was he really converted? That was the reason. Excuse me. Okay, moving on. So they shall seek God's face in Jacob. So some that is in the assemblies of his people. Thy face, O God, of Jacob. So our margin supplies it and makes it easy. As all believers are the spiritual seed of Abraham, so all that strive in prayer are the spiritual seed of Jacob, to whom God never said, Seek you me in vain. So the privilege of God's particular people is going to be the next video.